Hey everyone, welcome back to another video, and this time I'm going to show you my documented life. This year we're concentrating more on the art journaling rather than the art journaling and the planning. That's why I'm using my Smush Planner for this year, for that, and also my Filofax. And then some of us are using the Large Dilutions Journal, and the theme for January was the blank page and the technique, I want to say, and if you want to call it that, is book paper, book text, and the prompt for the week was goals. So what I did, I used three types of book or text paper. I used a dictionary page, I used a old book, pages from an old book, and also used wrapping paper that had text on it. Glued that down with matte medium. Then after that dried, I went and got my neon paints, and the base of the page is neon yellow. That I used an old gift card to scrape that down. Then I used my neon pink, my neon orange, and neon purple. And I used that with the palette knife to put those on. And then after that dried, I took some stencils. They happened to be on my desk or nearby, which were the confetti circles and the confetti hearts by Wow Studio. And you can see I used white paint for the circles, and I used neon purple for the hearts. And then I did some splattering, and I used somewhere, I forget why I used this, but I used my plastic canvas that had extra ink on it. When I sprayed it, I just stamped it on there. And then I think I used some bubble wrap too, or punchinella with black. Hopefully you can see that. Then after it dried, I glued her down. She's from a magazine ad. And she got a little wrinkly because I glued her with Elmer's glue, and I don't think I spread it all the way, but that's okay. And then I found this quote on goals. I forget who it's, I think it's from, no, I forget who it's from. When it's obvious that the goals cannot be reached, don't adjust the goals, adjust the actions. And then I left this blank. I think I was going to write my goals here, but I decided not to. I did a tip-in right here, and the tip-in is from Bo Bunny, and I painted the white part of this with some neon pink paint, and then some neon blue with bubble wrap. I hope you can see that. And then I did some mark making with the neon purple, and I attached it with duct tape. And then I wrote my goals over here. Sorry about that. It's a big book. And those are my goals. So that's week 1. Week 2, it was gesso, was the technique. And I forget what the prompt was. I think I did my own thing. So I did a ghosting technique, which was black paint. Then I used some different stencils with my Illusion sprays. And the stencils I used were from Pavla. She sent me them, I think, over sometime last year. I sprayed that, then I did some gesso over the whole thing and brought it up, and then I added some more spraying with the same stencils. And I also used the plastic canvas right here. And then I put her together last year, and I just stuck her in my fodder to use at a later date because the journals I was using at the time, she didn't fit. She was too big. So I glued her on there, and I did color her face with Neocolor 2s, and I rubbed it with my finger. Then I did a border. You can't really see the whole thing. And then I wrote this. I think I found this on Pinterest or something. Have you ever just looked at someone and said, seriously? First I wrote this in pencil, and actually charcoal pencil. Then I went over it with a black pen, and then I tried to shadow it with a white pencil. So that's that page. And then week 3 was the color wheel, and everybody's doing these great color wheels and all that, and I didn't do that. This side I did use, again I used the brown plastic canvas because that's what I had on my desk, and some dilution sprays, and I used the primary colors. I think this was a cherry red, I think I did a lemon zest yellow, and then London blue. You can really see that. And then, excuse me, on the opposite page, I did a green, a purple, and a orange. Somewhat, like the red and yellow, orange, blue and red, purple, and yellow and blue, green. The secondary colors. Then I got out my Dilution stamps, and I stamped them with black memento ink on watercolor paper. And I used my pearlescent watercolors to color them. I'm really impressed how I shaded her top. So I used a light blue for first, and then a darker blue for the shading. Excuse me. And then for her head, I used another stamp. I don't know whose it's by. It's a 50s girl, and I just stamped her with black memento ink pad, and I just colored her head and her hair, cut her out, and glued her there. And I did the mushrooms. Again, I used the Pearl Essence. Well, in this one I used the Artist Loft watercolors for that one, and I used Ranger Ink Essentials enamel in black for the mushrooms and the white for her polka dots on her outfit right there. And then the quote for the prompt that week was by Keith. And I was going to stamp the whole quote, but I got this far and was like, forget it. Normally I print, when I do quotes, I type them up on the computer and print them and then glue them on. I don't know why I didn't do that this time because it's such a long quote. But anyway, I just did this part. I found I could say things with colors and shapes. And I forget what it says. I don't have the rest of the quote here. But that's part of the quote. And it's all done. And this is last week's. The prompt was journaling. And I don't journal, so I struggle with that. And then the prompt or the theme was friends. So I went to something that I know to do, which was from the book Kaleidoscope, and it was a time thing, but I really didn't time it, I just did the process. I did, the first layer was distress inks, just stamping them on the page. The second thing was writing, and I just wrote friends and, friend type themes. There's my journaling. And then I did some craft paint. I did a pink craft paint and a blue. And then I added some text paper from an old book, which you can see. And then I added some scrapbook paper from my scraps. And some stamping, which from Viva Las Vegas Stamps, you can see right here. And then some more craft paint with the purple. And I think I also used the yellow watercolor. And I just put a little bit, and I sprayed it a whole bunch of water, and just painted it on both sides. And then I took a baby wipe or a paper towel and wiped it down because it was too yellow, and I wanted the other colors to show through. And then I did some stenciling, and the stencil was with white paint, and it was a Prima stencil. I did that on both sides. And then I took this big bubble wrap and I used black craft paint and painted that on the bubble wrap and stamped it on the page. And then they're from a book. I think Life. You know, they had a collection of pictures from their magazines over the years. And before I moved, I tore out what I wanted, and easier that way. And so I cut them out and glued them on the page. And then I found this quote. I don't know if on Pinterest. I was looking for friends' quotes. And the only thing I changed, because at first it said my best friend, and I just changed it to my best friends. And I are so hilarious. I feel bad for the people who get to listen to our conversations and enjoy the hilariousness. And the font, I don't know if you can see. It's probably going to get blurry. The font I used was a donut. I think I found that on fontspace.com. So those are my pages for Document Life. And this week I haven't done it yet. It's using back, drop paper. And I haven't had any drop paper, so I had to do stuff to make drop paper. So I still gotta do that. And that's it. So thanks for watching.